Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Fazbear Entertainment would like you to put your hands together for the one, the only, Freddy Fazbear.
Yep, we're back with more Jazwares FNAF plushies. It's been a while, to say the least, since the last episode of the series, but the reason why this episode's taking so long was because I recently started school again, so I've been pretty busy with that. And at times, I also just kind of forgot to draw the plushies. Yeah, that sometimes happens to me where I start drawing plushies and then I eventually forget about them until like a week or two later, then I actually start drawing them. So yeah, we're finally back. This time we're doing security breach plushies. Now in the third part of this series, I said if that video flopped really badly, then I wouldn't do a part 4. However, at the time of recording this video, it has 16 views. It's not a lot, but it's more than I expected. I thought I was gonna get like below 5 views. And plus, someone actually left a comment saying that I should do the security breach plushies next. And I figured I actually would, since Wave 7 is already rumored to be the security breach wave. And the security breach and the series figures have already been showing up at Target. And before we actually get into the plushies themselves, I need to clarify something I said in the second part of the series. So in that video, I said that after the Halloween plushies, Wave 5 was going to be Sister Location, Wave 6 would be another FNAF 4 wave, Wave 7 would be a FNAF 3 wave to promote their third movie, and Wave 8 would be a security breach wave. However, all that I said was actually somewhat false, because I counted Wave 4, the Halloween plushies as Wave 4, and apparently they're their own thing, this thing called a Special Wave 1. So they're not Wave 4, the Special Wave 1. So Sister Location will be Wave 4, and Wave 5 will be a Pizzeria Simulator wave, Wave 6 will be the FNAF 3 wave, and Wave 7 will be the Security Breach wave. And if you're wondering about where I got the FNAF 4 plushies from, apparently Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare Balloon Boy are going to be exclusives at some point. I'm not sure what wave they're supposed to be in, but yeah, those are all the leaks that have been released by this guy on Twitter named Dewey. And now that I have all that out of the way, let's go to the first concept of this video. So for Glamrock Freddy, I tried to differentiate him between the other Freddys that I've drawn, as well as the other Freddys that Jazwares has officially released. And I guess you can say this is kind of a combination between the classic Freddy plush and the toy Freddy plush, because I somewhat kept the facial features of the original plushie the same, but I kind of gave him toy Freddy's cheeks. So yeah, I guess you could say it's a bit of a mashup of the two. And as for all the makeup on his face, I would say it would probably be printed on, because for the Nightmare plushies, the withering on their faces were all printed on. And I don't really like printing on plushies, nor do a lot of other people who have bought the Nightmare plushies. But I feel like for makeup, it makes a little bit more sense compared to the withering. So yeah, I honestly wouldn't mind if Jazwares just printed on the makeup for the plushies. And same thing goes for the lightning bolt on his chest. And as for the spike wristbands he has on him, I would assume the spikes would probably just be flat circles. And on the official Bowser plushie from Nintendo, the spikes are also just flat circles on him. And yeah, I don't really know if it would look as good compared to just flat circles. I mean, it would be extra detail being added, but I personally wouldn't really like it if they're sticking out. I don't know, I just wouldn't really like it as much. And a couple other things I added to him that I'm not sure if this actually would add is his shoulder pad and his earring. Mainly because they've never really added any other accessories onto their arms or their ears. So I don't think they would add them, but I would actually like it if they did. Just to make it a bit more accurate to the actual Glamrock Freddy. Okay, and the last detail I did was add the cyan stripe on his hat. And I gave him sharp teeth as well. So Glamrock Chica is a pretty similar case to Glamrock Freddy, where the makeup would probably have to be printed on as well. And as for the green and magenta like stockings on her, those would probably have to be printed on as well, mainly because the patterns are kind of complicated. But I feel like I made her a bit too purple, like all the clothing and makeup I think is a bit too purple, because I'm pretty sure everything on her is like more of a pink color. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that Jazwares would actually make her more pink. And you may have noticed the Glamrock cupcake is there, but if you're a true FNAF fan, you would probably know that there isn't a Glamrock cupcake in the actual games. However, it was featured in a steel wool artwork for FNAF's 10th anniversary, I believe, where they actually drew a Glamrock cupcake. So I decided to just add the Glamrock cupcake there as a little bonus, even though it never actually appeared in the games. So Monty is the first character of this video that has some major changes to the facial features, mainly the cheeks popping out a bit more and having a dent on his head since there's a mohawk on him. And for the glasses, my initial thought process was to have removable glasses like Sanshi's Monty plushie. However, if that were the case, scalpers would probably like take the glasses with them and they would just leave behind a Monty without glasses, because that's how some scalpers are. So if they were to add their removable glasses, it would probably be like some of the Glitch Productions plushies, where they actually have the removable parts in the back of the store, so that way people don't try to steal those removable parts. But I feel like that would be a bit too much for Jazwares, so they could probably just do what they've been doing with the Chica plushies and just stitch on the glasses. So yeah, Jazwares would definitely make it a bit more different than mine, because I just got inspired by Sanshi. And as for the pants, they would probably be printed on as well, because of the pattern might be too complex for embroidering. Same thing with the dark green dots on his cheeks and arms as well. So I definitely feel like Roxy was the one that I actually put a lot of detail into, mainly because she has the most hair out of all of them, a lot of hair strands, and a lot of makeup as well. And to be honest, I could kind of see why Funko skipped over a lot of these details, because I'm pretty sure Funko didn't really have that big of a budget and they wanted to save on money. So that kind of makes sense, but then again, they also like didn't add some of the most important details to Roxy, and her hair is like horrible on here. So yeah, I'm hoping Jazwares actually adds all these details, even though it might cost them a lot of money. And again, with the earrings, not sure if they'd actually add them, since it never added anything else to the ears, but it would make it more accurate. And yes, same thing with the other plushies, all the patterns on the stockings they're probably gonna print it on as well. And probably like those arm warmer things as well, those might be printed on. And probably her shorts, her crop top, and her shoulder pads, those might be printed on as well. And yeah, I'm really hoping that Jazwares actually gives her accurate hair, unlike Funko. So when Dewey leaked all the upcoming Jazwares FNAF plushies, he said that for the security breach wave, it would include 1 rabbit, and there's 3 rabbits in security breach, that being Vanny, Glamrock Bonnie, and Burn Trap. I mean, I don't know if Burn Trap counts as a bunny since there's technically a corpse inside him, but I guess he counts. And I figure the only one I would do is Vanny, cause, well, I haven't played Security Breach yet since I'm a new fan, but to my knowledge, she's like the main villain of Security Breach. So I feel like Jazwares would make her over Glamrock Freddy, Glamrock Bonnie or Burn Trap. And this one also require a lot of detail since Vanny on her design has a lot of stitch lines. But that wouldn't be too hard for Jazwares. I could just embroider them on. I mean, that would kind of be a lot of work, but it wouldn't really be too much work in my opinion. And the bow tie is also really different from the other Jazwares plushies. So I hope they do make it different. Don't just reuse like a Bonnie or Freddy tie. And as for her left hand, or her left arm, and her left leg, the oven mitten like pattern would probably be printed on, because that's how we drew it on anyway. Like, I drew it so it gives off the illusion that it's printed on. So all the characters I've done so far are the plushies Dewey said would be included for the security breach wave. However, I decided to draw the mimic because I feel like he could be a possible exclusive for the wave or some other wave in the future. And this one's kind of similar to my Endo 1 concept I made a while ago, but it's not an entire recolor because the pattern on the legs is more different. Same thing with the arms, and especially the chest too. There's a big change. But the different lines on the face isn't entirely different. However, I added this little thing that gives out the illusion that there's wires coming out of his head and going back in as well. And this yellowish thing, I don't really know what it is, but I included that into the design as well. And also don't know what this black thing is, but I'm assuming these are part of like the mimic's like mimicking thing, since from what I know he can like mimic costumes and other characters. Okay, I know I said I was only going to do Vanny, but I feel like Burn Trap is a big enough character to get his own Jazwares plushie and could possibly be an exclusive to the wave or another wave. And I haven't done a Springtrap concept in a while, because the first time I did one was literally in the first part of the series, which was like I think a month ago. And of course, I try to make this one look different from the other Springtrap, because all of Springtrap's designs look entirely different for some reason. And I wasn't too sure what color to make Burn Trap, so I kind of went with this like yellowish brown color. I don't think I got close with it, but I think I got close enough. I mean, when Funko made their Burn Trap Funko Pop, they made him have darker colors, but Jazwares doesn't really do dark colors on characters. So I just decided to leave it like this kind of like brighter color than what he normally is. And also added the skull. I'm pretty sure that's a skull poking out from his design. Now, of course, not sure if Jazwares would actually add all those details, because don't know if a child would want to cuddle with a plushie that is depicted to have a rotting corpse inside. But it's a big enough detail, so I figured I would add that. And if Jazwares ever made Burn Trap, this would be the first Burn Trap plushie to exist. Like, at least the first official one. Because there was a bootleg Burn Trap from this company called V&K VTL. And it doesn't look too bad, but that nose is really big. So yeah, I really hope Jazwares does make Burn Trap, because it would be really cool to have as a plushie. And these last two plushies, I would say these would probably be Jazwares Vault exclusives as a 2-pack, kind of like Fredbear and Spring Bunny, that being Sundrop and Moondrop. And I figured these would work perfectly as a 2-pack for the Jazwares Vault, because they're basically a duo in Security Breach. And yeah, these would look entirely different from the other plushies, mainly because Sundrop has like a bunch of triangles that are supposed to be sunbeams poking out of his head. But Moondrop doesn't really have too much. All he has is just like a night hat that just plushies haven't had yet, but it honestly wouldn't be too hard to add. Now, their faces are basically the same, at least in terms of the patterns, just different colors. So these would be recolors, but I'm pretty sure they're just recolors in the game as well. So in a way, these would be pretty accurate as well. And same thing with other plushies. These ones would probably have the patterns on the pants printed on as well. Same thing with Moondrop's stars on his night hat. They'll probably be printed on as well. And that is all of the plushies that I have for this video. If there's anybody who watched the third part of this series and was waiting a long time for this fourth part, I'm sorry about that. I've just been really busy with school and other stuff. And this may be the last episode in the series, but that depends on how many views this video gets and if you guys actually want a fifth part. And if you guys do want a fifth part, I would be more than happy to make more plushies, because I really do enjoy drawing these. I would just have to find the time to draw these plushies since I started school. But yeah, let me know guys if you want a fifth part to this series, and I'll see you guys next time.